Today, it was about guns and violence in our schools. But look beyond the signs to the faces of idealism and possibilities, the faces of youth, which for generations have led the way in calling for social change, sometimes at great risk.
My grandfather had a dream.
The power and potential of youth recognized by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he called for a children's march in Birmingham to demand racial equality.
Birmingham is a symbol of hardcore resistance to integration.
It was 1963, the height of the civil rights struggle. What started as a peaceful, even cheerful protest turned violent. King understood the power of television and knew the images would resonate, as recalled in tonight's NBC News documentary, Hope and Fury.
These are some of the 1,100 children of Birmingham who demonstrated in the streets and went to jail, and then were either suspended or expelled from school.
These were 11th and 12th graders who were mostly 16 to 19. They were very mindful of the fact that in another year, they could be sent to Vietnam to die for freedom, abroad for somebody else.
The Vietnam War would turn into the next big struggle here at home. With young people taking the lead in a growing anti-war movement.
Many thousands of people, mainly young, to come together for one of the key demonstrations of the day.
Then, as now, raising their voices for change. Then, America eventually listened. Now, a new struggle has just begun. Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.